Hello, welcome to the second episode of PRM Pros. And my name is Michael in Team Kakari, and I'm here with.
And I'm Tracy.
Daniela.
See you again.
So, this is an extended version of the first video we made earlier on confidentiality and veracity. We're going to start off with an example that most of us know as an incident that happened 3.5 years ago at Mawako, the food poisoning issue at Mawako. I want to ask you guys confidentiality or veracity?
What do we think about it?
So I think, first of all, everyone was speculating that they got food poisoning from Mawako, from eating food made by Mawako.
Mhm.
And there wasn't any press release or any news release or any statement issued to the public to calm their nerves and tell them that, oh, this is the situation that at hand, this is what happened, to prevent them from jumping to any conclusions that oh, it was food poisoning or it was a mistake on the part of one of the workers. Now, since we, the public, are the ones speculating that it was food poisoning, Mawako owed the public or their target market a responsibility of coming to tell us exactly what caused people some unrest by having stomach issues,
Yeah.
etc. You understand? If I were to be the PRO for Mawako, I'd have suggested that they come out to address the issue. If indeed there was a food poisoning, you let them know that this is the issue that happened that led to so and so and so, and then they ended up having stomach issues, and assure them that that issue is being rectified or is being worked on. Because keeping quiet about it, first of all, makes you look guilty
Mhm.
as an institution or as an organization. You're already looking guilty by not saying anything. So coming out to talk about it selectively, you're not just coming to say everything that has happened, because if you come out and say everything that happened, the name of the worker that maybe it was ignorant on the part of the worker, coming out to talk about every little detail would make the public not trust you as much as they used to. So you come out and address the fact that, oh, indeed it was food poisoning, but you are working on it. You give them that assurance that indeed you are working on it. And I think this is one of the cases of veracity versus confidentiality. You are torn between telling them the truth that this is what happened and keeping quiet. Now, if you choose to keep quiet about it and it later comes out as an actual confirmation that yes, indeed, there was food poisoning, you will lose your customers as a business. But telling them the truth, they would give a negative response from the beginning, but later on they'd come around.
I also think that they didn't come out to say there's a food poison or because I felt like they felt it was just a number of people that's experienced that kind of food poisoning people were talking about.
Yeah.
So I think they wanted to keep it amongst themselves just to keep the brand going. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's one of the reasons. Maybe that's what I think. Maybe they didn't want it to come out, but when they realized it was already out
Not,
and
not to cut you
already
short,
escalated.
but I think they got to a point where the situation escalated and then it became very, very terrible. I mean,
Like they can't do anything about it.
yeah, they couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
I felt at that particular point in time, it was beyond,
Their control.
yeah, it was beyond their control. They could not do anything about it. Their brand reputation, everything was virtually, it was dead.
Yeah.
Okay. So at that point in time, um, I don't know how they would come out and then be confidential about some things because
Mhm.
the number of patients were just growing day by day.
Mhm.
If it's 20 today, it's about 30 the next day. So this is where I have a problem.
Yeah, also
There's a thin line between veracity and confidentiality in this situation.
Yeah.
If you are confidential about people's health, it is a problem because that is their health. Okay. Health is wealth, just as she said.
Hmm.
And it's food poisoning. They could die from it. I don't know if people died from it, but they could die. But if they also tell the truth, their brand is also going to die off.
Oh.
So then my question is, how do they stand in between? Because when they choose one side is going to be oh, virtually almost dead.
Yeah, yeah.
And if they choose another side, it's going to affect them. So, I mean, how do they come to a standstill?
All right, yeah. So for me, issues pertaining to your customer's health is one, you should be on top of your list. You
Yeah.
need to be
Yeah.
very
That's very true.
conscious and critical about that. No matter what, you need to come out and be transparent with them, no matter what, because if they die, if they die,
Yeah. Because, I mean,
if they,
So for the greater good, I
yeah,
think
if they,
the people will die. They should rather come out to tell the people that,
yeah,
oh, there's
yeah,
this food poisoning thing, we are doing this and that to
if people,
Or if
yeah,
manage the
indeed,
situation.
if indeed they were sticking with not saying anything at all, they could have done a temporary shutdown.
mm-hmm,
I think
And
they, sorry, but I think they went ahead with the temporary shutdown
Shut down. Yeah.
for that branch. But my problem is, even with the temporary shutdown, what are you telling us with that temporary shutdown?
Yeah. So you
Do you
just come out
understand?
and tell the people that, I mean,
yeah,
this is what
I,
is going on.
I think people need to know.
it could also be that they didn't know what was causing the food poisoning. It could be um an insect infestation
yeah.
So
that
they
they
are
are not aware
were they
of.
coming out to the people that is this insect or is this cause that's made like brought up the food poisoning thing? I
Exactly.
don't think that's what they want to do.
No,
So
they
they
don't
rather
want
just
to
come
do it.
out to say something that
Exactly.
will
But the
calm
very
the
fact
people
that they
down.
were quiet made them look guilty already. That's there's some ignorance on their part. They're not doing something right.
There's one thing, just like you said, I always say this, that restaurants, most especially, when you are dealing with customers or consumers, you need to be very careful of whatever you offer them.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's a situation at hand, you need to come as soon as possible to address it.
Yeah, because
Do
it's
you get
food.
it? Because exactly,
Yeah,
it is food.
yeah, and you're
And
working with
then,
people.
thank you very much. Their health concerns. So, genuinely, I think they should have come out to say whatever it was that happened,
Mhm.
but they would find ways and means to mitigate, some things. To say maybe it was an insect infestation,
If
something
indeed it
it
was.
was. Yeah, if indeed it was.
Yeah,
And then you tell them that this is what happened. Maybe one of our vents got open overnight and then didn't see or something. But you cannot sit down and then be quiet about it. And the cases keep increasing day by day.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
even think that's confidentiality. That is even way beyond confidential. That is virtually you
Very
keeping
unethical.
exactly
Yeah, exactly.
keeping quiet. So on the Marco case, um, I personally would think you'd have to be confidential about some things, but veracity for me. Veracity.
Veracity, yeah, exactly.
Like,
So
it can be confidential at a point and also be very open and truthful to the people.
Yeah,
yeah,
Like,
exactly. So I mean, in the short term, there will be a little backlash,
obvious.
but
Yes, definitely.
So
In the beginning,
in
like
the
there will be
beginning,
backlash because people are reacting to what you are telling them. For instance, the whole Nam1 issue.
mm,
Let's say indeed it was false that he was running away with people's money.
mm-hmm,
But you're coming out to say that this is what, like, you're telling people that this is the case, like you're being open to them. Or fine, let's say indeed he ran away with the money.
mm,
In the first instance, you've come out to issue a statement that, oh, this is what Nam1 has done. Yes, definitely people would be angry, people would be upset.
Okay.
yeah,
But
yeah,
at some point they would appreciate the fact that you're telling them the truth.
Yeah.
You understand?
yeah,
So I think in every single situation, you need to weigh there are pros and cons. There are times where veracity can be a con. There are times where confidentiality can be a pro. There are times where veracity can be a pro and confidentiality can be a con. So you need to weigh out the
exactly.
options and see the one that suits your
Yeah.
situation best. Because there is no easy way out, as a matter of fact.
Yeah,
Whichever that you choose would have some effect or some negative effects. But which one is long term and which one is short term? That's what you need to look at.
I think Veracity wins for this one.
veracity
Yeah,
win for this one, right? Okay, that's fine.
one.
Another
I've
example.
been thinking there's this microcredits company that's I think there was a time that the workers were stealing monies from their
Wow.
COFEX and everything. And they didn't steal it like if I'm taking 10,000, I'm taking 10,000. No, they took like maybe
10,000.
1,000 CDs, 2,000,
Yeah.
3,000,
Honestly.
yeah, just in bits. So
Wow.
they were not noticing that there was some monies that were going out of their company. So at a point, they noticed that there's this huge amounts that they are like, they can't find that money. They are trying to look for the money and they can't find it.
Yeah.
So I think they started doing their investigations and everything, and they realized that people from the company are the ones taking the monies. Yes. So at a point, I think they
Okay.
had to involve the police and everything so that they can really have they can have like good investigations done in the company.
To make them look credible.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in this situation, are you saying that would you go to the public to tell them that okay, this was really happening in my company and people are taking monies, and or you want to keep it within the company? I've been trying to also
I would
get
allow you guys to have
think
the
this
floor.
is a
I think I'll
tricky
take
one.
a last stance on this.
This is the tricky
Because
one.
it's
Because
quite
it's
cumbersome.
within the company.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think it has come out yet.
Mm-hmm.
So you are trying to address the issue within the company, like keep it under wraps and solve it. Nobody has said anything. Like unprovoked. If you decide to go and issue a press statement unprovoked, it could be two things. Either the public wouldn't really pay so much attention. They'll just
Attention.
talk about it. Hey, so this is what is
So
going
it's
on.
a
blah-
well-known microcredit company,
Mhm.
and people really take monies from them like each and every day, and they have money.
Oh,
Yes,
Then
I
you-
just don't want to invest, but that's
Maybe my money is there. You should tell me.
Yeah.
But
honestly, I don't think if it comes out, people would see them as trustworthy enough to want to keep their monies there.
yeah.
But if I were to be the PRO, like I said, if I were to be the PRO, I think I'll try to solve the issue within the company. Okay. If it's beginning to escalate, then I can start saying something. I wouldn't give too much information because you're trying not to cause panic to the public. You
Yeah,
understand?
yeah.
So you need to be selective about the kind of information that you are taking to your target audience or your target market, just so their minds are still at ease about what is going on. But you are taking them into consideration. You have them in mind with whatever operations that you are at. So you're telling them that, oh, this is the case, this is so and so and so, but investigations are still going on. We are doing everything possible to
By the
ensure.
long run, it didn't come out, and it's not even out.
So it's
So
speculation.
yes,
so
so it was in the company. They just decided to solve the issue in the company because of people's reputation.
Yeah.
exactly. I think what you don't know won't hurt you.
Mhm.
Yes, it's not every time you have to know.
Yeah, because if they came out, I mean, if they it's people's money.
People's money. So
Exactly.
people will be saying, "Oh, okay, hey, no, I have to go for my money." Like number one, I have to go for
So-
my money before this thing happens.
Already, you
Yeah.
know how insecure Ghanaians are with their money,
their money.
enough money and all that. But yeah, I think on this situation, I'll be so confidential about it because in the first place, it's not out yet. It's my employees. Okay. Let me say my group of people. We are solving this. We do not need to let this go out. So if there are investigations that are supposed to go on, police, whatever it is, we do it under G, underground. You understand?
Yeah.
Shouldn't come out and then let it look like, oh,
What's it
we are
called?
here, we are not taking care of your money. Just imagine the press statement comes out that
Mhm.
their employees are stealing money.
Yeah.
What are you going to think as an ordinary Ghanaian? Of course, you guys are not even controlling your employees. So
yeah.
why do I keep my money here? So I mean, obviously, you would keep it under G because you want more customers or consumers
Yeah.
for your
For your company.
micro what
Credit
finance or
company.
microcredit institution. So
Yeah.
I think for this one, I would be very confidential about it. In fact, way too confidential. I would not even speak about money's getting missing or people, whatever it is. But all I just say is I'm going to be very confidential with it because no one needs to know about whatever is happening in my company. If it's happening, it's me and my employees.
Yeah.
Once it transcends outside or goes out, it becomes a huge problem because at that point in time, panic sets in, just like you said. When panic sets in, you know how people behave when panic sets in. So just imagine people are coming to, I'm coming to withdraw my money or my 50,000, my this.
Like they should keep it confident if they have something to do about the situation because
Yeah.
people's monies are involved.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you want to keep it confident, it means that you know where to get monies from to replace those lost monies.
And I'm
Yeah.
certain.
So
since
if you don't have anywhere to pick all those monies from, I don't think you should keep it
fine.
confident. It has to go out for the people to know this is what's
They
going
need
to.
to know.
so
They
if
have that right.
Yeah.
so if it's way too big or above their head, there's nothing they can do.
Mm.
They need to be transparent and just say, so this is what happened, Charlie. Our company, blah blah happened, and then 1 million CDs is gone.
Mhm.
So we have to find ways and means, whatever it is, to rectify or to make them get their money back.
Mhm.
But this is about what, 10,000 or less,
Over.
or over 10. Oh, let's
50,000
let's just take it as over 50,000.
Yeah.
Okay, it was over
Mhm.
50,000. I think the reason they didn't bring that out is because they know they can solve it, but they just want to catch the perpetrators, those who
Mhm.
are stealing money from the company, because it cannot go on.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would keep this confidential as possible.
Yeah, on the low.
On the low. Yeah, just Charlie on the low, man. Boy.
Guys,
On
I
the
also
low.
just thought of something. Like an
Mhm.
uncontrollable situation. Like you didn't have anything to do about it in the case of veracity versus confidentiality, where
Mhm.
you are trying so hard to keep things under wraps, but someone somewhere has already gone to leak
Yes.
the information to the public.
Yeah.
Like, what would you do in such a situation? Would you now go and find the person and sue the person, or you go and bribe the person,
In
tell the person to just keep things, and like, what would you do in such a situation?
Hmm.
Because this
like
also happens.
yeah.
Yeah.
It also
Yeah.
happens.
In situations like this, so someone knows about it and the person has spilled the
Even
beans.
sometimes people from the company who decide to resign can go out to go and leak
Yeah.
this
Exactly.
information. So I think
Yeah.
Personal grudges.
yeah.
No, but I think it's part of their agreement when you sign.
And a non-disclosure
Just
agreement,
exactly.
NDA.
But
When you go out, you're not supposed to disclose some info.
Mhm.
But yeah, so once you breach it, of course,
But the
once you
thing is,
breach it.
would you be able to identify that it is this person that did this, or is this person that did that?
So
I don't
Wait.
yeah,
Tell
I'm
you
understanding.
guys, I hate-
I'm
Mm.
understanding what you're talking about
Mhm.
here. But you see, let's take it as we don't know the person. That's fine. We don't know the person. Now the information comes out. What's the first thing you do? Crisis management. That's the first thing you should think about. Not looking for the person who said this or
No.
looking for.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's your company, it's your reputation they are damaging. Imagine Mahama is someone who is in the occult group.
Mhm.
You understand? His PR team would have to come as quick as possible to address that situation, because there would be so much talk about it in town that Mahama is antichrist.
Mm.
You understand? I think situations like that need to address them
Mm.
quickly rather than looking for whoever published that statement, whether it's somebody from the back, somebody in his family. Doesn't really matter. It's
Mm.
just you managing whatever crisis that has been brought out there. And even with we're looking for the person, that's also part of managing the crisis. But I think the first step you need to do is
Address the issue.
exactly press the issue at hand.
True.
You don't
True.
need I mean, beat about the bush and look for whoever it is.
It's like
What
I
you've
went
been
to say
bitten
that.
by a snake. You're going to share the snake to ask the snake, Snake, why did you bite me? So you start treating the wound.
exactly?
Oh, that is.
So I mean, just as you said, you've been bitten by a snake. The first thing you need to do is first aid, medical care. You need to
Yeah.
rush
You
in
need
and
to
go and
treat it.
extract the venom from whatever parts so that it doesn't spread to the nervous system. In
Obviously.
fact, I think this is a perfect example of managing the crisis.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So I think with situations like what you mentioned before, you don't need to look at whoever the cause is.
Mm-hmm.
Find a way to mitigate whatever crisis is at hand.
Yep.
So, but I think sometimes too, if you find out like the source, it would also help you in a way so that you know how to act
Act
next
from-
time, or
Yeah,
you
and the
know
long.
the steps to take. If, for instance, there's, let's say all of us are here, we are all executives of one institution or something, and I'm the one that keeps leaking information to our competitors, and I'm
Mhm.
getting something from it. If it comes out that I'm the one, like, we are supposed to know who it is, because it could be someone among us, or maybe someone externally has planted the camera
Mm-hmm.
for our meeting places to be seen or to be exposed by them. But once you find out that I'm the one that is doing it, I'm the one that's leaking the information, or it is someone else leaking the information, then you'll be able to know that, okay, next time, if you're having meetings, you talk about certain things when I'm present, and you talk about more serious things in my
Right.
absence.
Yeah.
So I think you see with the
It would
planting.
depend. It would
Yeah.
depend on the
So
kind of
so
situation you find yourself in and what matters first.
so let's take it as the what you just said. Okay, there is someone who is leaking information. There's a rat in the company,
Mm-hmm.
and they are I mean, the first thing you need to do is get rid of the camera in the first place.
Why?
The camera.
No, I mean, wait, sorry. Get rid of the rat in the
Yeah,
first
yeah,
place.
yeah.
But what if the rat is the one giving the right information that's supposed to go to the authority?
How would you even identify the rat?
No, so okay, I'm the
So-
CEO. Okay.
Mhm.
And then I run a company. So we have a lot of people in the company, and there's this particular girl who's misbehaving and doing all sorts of things. And someone comes to me to tell me that, okay, boss, please, this girl doesn't talk to customers well. She treats customers anyhow and all of that, and is driving the
Okay.
customers away. Do you think the girl's not doing the right thing? I think she's doing the right thing by telling me that this is what's actually going on. It's up to me to find out if it's really going on.
But that's also a different instance. We are looking at a situation where something has happened. Okay, we're using the microcredit example.
Mm-hmm.
Someone within the company has gone to leak the information. Meanwhile, you're trying to solve the issue under wraps. You understand? How would you identify the person that has gone to leak the information?
Yeah, something.
What would you address first? Is it looking for the person that has gone to leak the information, or trying to address the public that, oh, yes, indeed, it is true,
That
but and so measures are being put in place to ensure that everyone's money is safe?
okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do you
So
understand?
Yeah.
so I think on
We'll
that,
come to what you were also talking
yeah,
about.
we'll come to that. But I think on what you just said, I don't think you need to address the public first, because those are the people that your in fact, I know your interests are aligned to the organization
Mhm.
and to the public's. Now, at this particular point in time, it's common sense that needs to work here. Do you understand me?
Mhm.
How would you stay in an organization and say people's monies are under your care, they are getting missing? Okay.
Mm.
The people need to know about it. You are not letting them know about it. And you are trying to solve or find the person who is actually stealing the money there. When you know that it's going to cause a huge problem for you. Before you said something about your microcredit situation,
Yeah.
where I was like, if the money is not too huge, don't bring out that information that there are some monies that are going missing.
Mm-hmm.
But if the information, or if the information reaching you, the CEO, and then the PR person, look, the monies that we are losing are way too huge. We cannot do anything about it.
Don't say you can't do anything about it. Say you are working on it. Because in as much as you are trying to let your public know that this is what is going on, you are still trying to maintain that level of confidence that they had. You are still trying to maintain that level of confidence that they had in you in the first place, even before this thing happened. But if you tell them that, oh, you can't do anything about it, first of all, what are you saying about your organization? You are saying that you are incompetent. When high issues arise, or when serious issues arise, you are unable to take charge and deal with it. So
So,
I've corrected you.
Yeah.
no, thank you very much. But I wasn't going to that angle, saying that you cannot do anything about it in your press.
Mhm.
Like, you know, in the company, you and your company know that you cannot do anything about it. So you need to let the public know.
I also think that sometimes your
Mhm.
choice of words also counts whenever you are addressing crisis, or whenever you're addressing issues
One there.
in a press release or
Even
whatever.
relationships, if
Yes.
Yes,
your
your
choice of words.
choice of words counts. Maybe you don't mean it in the way that the person that is receiving the message is going to take it. You mean it in a different way. But you saying it, the person is not a mind reader to know that this is how you are thinking about the
Yeah.
thing. You understand? So you need to be very, very clear. Ensure that the kind of words that you are using, everybody understands it, that nobody can come and contradict you at some point.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You understand?
So, guys, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
It was
Yeah.
lovely. Your insights on veracity and confidentiality in PR has actually been very beneficial.
One
So,
last thing. Sorry,
okay.
I
You
didn't
know, I
mean
also want to talk about the
Hey, you still have things to talk about. But you go ahead. Go ahead. Oh no, if you have things to talk about, you go ahead.
I think the basis of this whole conversation is to make us understand that whatever situation you find yourself, any ethical dilemma that you are faced with,
Okay.
especially veracity, confidentiality, there's no easy way out. Okay.
Yeah.
You can't
True.
you can't
Very true.
find the easy way out of the situation. You need to look at both of them, see the one that is less painful, if I should say, because both of them are painful.
A dilemma.
Yes. So just look at the one that is less painful and then go with that one. The one that will not come back to bite you in your ass. Pardon my French. Yes, because if you don't think things through, you would end up regretting a lot of your decisions. And you should also ensure that whatever situation you are faced with, no matter how much pressure is on you, you need to keep a very calm and level head in order to solve it. Because if you are also acting anyhow based on the pressure that you are under, you would end up making a bunch of mistakes that you cannot reverse.
Reminded me of something like that girl that likes you and that other girl that you are trying to kiss. You are in the middle. Anyway,
Chasing wanted to say something.
you said everything.
Yeah, this one says something.
Okay, so on this note, we would end with what Daniela said. Like she said, it's a dilemma. You choose what you want. You pick your poison and then you just move forward. Eventually, yes, eventually it will help you, but it will also hurt you at some point. So thank you very much, Prince, Tracy, and Daniela, for this
Thank you.
wonderful segment. My name again is Michael Intim Kakari, and bye bye.
Aya. Finally.